r/AskReddit. What's the edgiest thing you've ever done to make yourself look cool but that actually made you look stupid? Unironically wore a shirt with a man, the legend on it, with arrows pointing to my face and crotch. Dark times. Lol. Reminds me of a shirt I got for a birthday or Christmas. It read, 69. The Great One. I never once wore it. Mainly because I was a virgin and I just knew that I'd get mocked for having never actually done 69. In retrospect, I don't think I actually realized the shirt was cringy, I just didn't want to get called out. Dark times. So you actually unironically thought the shirt was too cool for you? My condolences to your younger self. I used to be sunglasses indoors and at night guy. Edit. Several people have listed legitimate reasons to wear sunglasses indoors, but I can assure you, I had no valid excuse for it. When questioned about why I had sunglasses on, I'd respond with something really enigmatic like your eyes reveal your true feelings. I will not be betrayed by them. When I, 24, male, was younger, around 12 to 14, I was alone at home one day. I lit a candle at some point and started playing around with the melted wax. It was a white candle. I don't know how I got to doing that, but I started applying the melted wax to my face. I was using my hands and by the time it touched my face it wasn't unpleasantly warm anymore. I covered my whole face with thin layer of wax and I thought of the movie House of Wax and how tough/creepy I must look. I took a selfie with my shitty camera, was 10 years ago, and I figured I ought to share it with the world, so I uploaded it to this teen dating website I was visiting. It never got approved. Later it hit me how it looked and why it was not approved. I'm glad it didn't, although at the time I was disappointed. I won't elaborate further, but the picture did not look creepy in the way I hoped. It took me a second to realize it looked like someone came on your face. When I was deep in my emo phase I got the webbing of my hands pierced and then cried when my dad had to remove them with his tools 2 weeks later. Then both my hands were so infected I could barely move my thumbs. Not super edgy, but I would always do stupid dares like run directly into a brick wall at full speed or jump off of a small cliff, 15 to 20 feet, or run and jump into a patch of thorns and poison ivy. Stupid stuff that no one else had the balls to do. There's always that one friend in a group. If that friend is lucky he wouldn't be referred to in the past tense. Say I am Shadow the Hedgehog in human form. Did you have the chest hair to back it up? For about 3 years, I wanted my hair to be spiky, like I saw in some cartoons or anime shows. Not in vertical spikes, but more like claws instead of bangs. At least that's what I thought of them, and that's what I thought looked cool. I had almost forgotten about this, thanks Reddit. Thy past sins shall not be forgotten. Smearing black/dark gray eyeshadow all over my eyelids when I was 13. Looked like a freaking idiot. I was also homeschooled at the time, lol. Probably creeped out the neighbor kids. I thought eyeliner was meant to cover the entire eyelid as a kid, and my mother let me go out like that. I wore spastically printed Avril Lavigne/Abby Dawn pants, a skin-tight tee, furry vest, and black knockoff Uggs to school. I had also just messily chopped off my hair. I topped all this off with a garishly fake lip ring and a singular fishnet glove. I thought I was a punk rocker, a la Sheena. I looked like a proper idiot. Naruto running in the school halls. Why did I watch Naruto when I was a kid? Shaking my head. When I was in middle school it was the Ed from Ed, and Eddie run. Punch trees in 4th grade at recess to try and impress my crush FML. Was she a fan of Minecraft? Trying like an a-hole to be a cool kid in high school. Didn't want to smoke, drink or do drugs. So I thought my thing would be pornography. I found some of my dad's Hustlers and Penthouse mags and brought a couple into school to show my friends. Word got out, a teacher confiscated them. And I did not end being cool. I got the reputation as a pervert. Luckily my dad never found out. The school did not notify my parents. Guess they thought the humiliation was punishment enough, and I was only at that school for another year before moving. You wouldn't have gotten a reputation as a pervert in my school. There's literally a kid who pulls down his pants in science class and just sits in the back of the room in his underwear. My whole emo phase. But I don't regret it. No mom, it's not a phase, it's a lifestyle. I remember one lunch break in high school just sitting in the rain during some depressive phase and I'm pretty sure I thought it made me look brooding, but in actuality it was just really stupid because I got drenched halfway through the school day. When I was maybe around 16. I wanted to have a cool anime facial scar, so I deliberately cut myself down the bridge of my nose and between the eyes. Over the course of a week or so it bled, scabbed over, then disappeared without a scar. In elementary, I wanted to be a bad A, so I convinced my mom I had to wear a full suit for grade 6 class pictures, pulled up totally out of my element and deeply regretting it. I panicked and told everyone my mom forced me to do it. My teacher made me stand where he would have stood and sat with the rest of the kids. Very uncomfortable day, but totally brought on by my own need to be edgy and cool. My school had a uniform, but there was always one guy who dressed like he was going to a funeral on casual clothes day. My high school's uniform consisted of only a t-shirt with the school logo, and there was still a guy who came to school in a suit, tie included. I dyed my hair what was meant to be a shocking blue, but it turned out kinda turquoise, and the semi-permanent dye never fully washed out, leaving me with hair that looked like it had mold for months. I definitely wore a homemade floor-length black cape to high school a few times. Also sprayed myself gray to look like a ghost on Spirit Day, because apparently I knew there was no chance I'd ever fit in and decided to embrace it. I can hear some pimple-faced teen shrieking, "Hey guys! Cape guy painted himself." I met a kid in a trench coat at a college party who told me his friends call him Nails because he doesn't screw around. Then he looked at me for a few seconds in silence and we both walked away. He had probably been preparing to say that to someone for years and he chose you and you just walked away. That hurts. Oh, so many in middle school. 1. Tried having bangs. My front hairs grow straight up and part strongly in the middle. I had to hairspray them into a shield to get them to stay. But sadly I had gym first period and immediately they would part in the middle and stick straight up the whole day. 2. Let my mom wax my eyebrows because everyone waxed their eyebrows. My mom loved skinny eyebrows back then and waxed mine into tiny lines that were separated from one another by 2 inches. I look sick in so many photos during middle school because my eyebrows were seemingly non-existent, lol. 3. Shaved one of my arms and hand in entirety. I have more than average hairy arms and hands, more hairy than my fiancé's at the moment. I used to hate it, so I tried to shave one arm to see if it looked better. It was so prickly and I was so nervous a cute boy would bump into me and find out I shaved it. Let's just say I learned not to fight my natural hair growth the hard way. I had a mullet in high school. It was the early 90s. I still should have known better. We all should have.